What's going on, guys? Ariel here, co-director of A Horse of a Different Color. And before I get to letting you know what my favorite lens is in my kit, I want to let you guys know that our campaign for our feature documentary, A Horse of a Different Color, has officially come to an end. We have finished our 30 days of crowdfunding and we have actually surpassed our financial goal. And thanks to you guys for making that happen and sharing, and those of you that have been sharing and contributing, we just want to say thank you so much for your help and your support for this project. However, we still have a few days left before the judging actually begins, and we can still gain more followers. So if you haven't already done so, go over to our website, our campaign website, and click on that follow button and start following us and receiving updates on that. I'll put the link for that down below. Now, moving forward, one of the main questions that I get asked all the time is, what is the best lens to use for shooting video? What is the best lens to use for this particular camera? And the answer is never a straight up answer. It can never be a straight up answer. So I'm gonna let you guys know what my favorite lens is in my kit, and for the most part, better than any lens out there for what it is. And that lens is basically the Canon 24-105, and I have it right here with me. Now, this lens is my favorite lens for several reasons. Just basically its versatility. So it's I have a great zoom range of 24-105. It has obviously the autofocus and manual focus. A lot of you filmmakers don't care about autofocus because you guys prefer to do it manually, which is great. Oftentimes I do a lot of manual focusing myself, but sometimes I like to use that autofocus just because the situation calls for it. It's not a bad thing, and you can't just switch it on and expect the camera to know what you want to focus on. You have to maneuver your camera properly to get that to use and take full advantage of that autofocus. So yes, I do use the autofocus a lot. I like the fact that it has internal image stabilization. The lens itself has that, so it doesn't matter what camera you use it on, you'll have that good internal that image stabilization hooked up there. I do a lot of handheld shots. One, because it's more convenient. Two, I like the look and feel and the vibe that comes from getting those handheld shots, and that image stabilization comes a long way to letting my shots look the way I want it to look. I don't like that crazy jittery handheld feel or look that you get when it does not have any image stabilization whatsoever. So the image stabilization comes a long way, and it helps me a lot when I go handheld. I get, especially when I have a full frame camera like the Sony a7S Mark II, at 24, it's a nice, very, very wide shot, and I can always get that nice long zoom to 105 and get great close-ups as well. It does, if you want to get really, really shallow and get that nice shallow depth of field, just zoom in there, get nice and close, and you get really, really good shallow depth of field, especially with a full frame lens if that's what you're using. Sometimes Canons or other cameras have, Super 35 or APS-C sensors, and it's not as easy, but it can still be done. It is an f4. Obviously, I would prefer f2.8 or even higher, but f4 is not bad with the a7S Mark II, simply because the full frame gives me good shallow depth, and the low light capabilities of that camera just does not make it any trouble whatsoever. Now, when I use this lens on my Sony a6300, I have a metabone speed booster that turns the f4 into an f2.8 constant. So whether I'm at 24 or whether I'm at 105 millimeters, I still have that nice 2.8 shallow depth of field, and I have more light hitting my sensor. For the a6300, I would need that because it's not as good as the a7S Mark II in low light. So there you have it. This is my favorite lens in my kit. Basically, if I could take just one lens to a shoot, this would be it, just because I have so much versatility and so many options and shots that I can do with this one lens, as opposed to if I take prime lenses, which I do prefer, by the way. Let me clear that. If I have more time in my production, and if I have the option to, I'll always use prime lenses, cinema lenses, etc. But more often than not, when I'm shooting, especially running gun and documentary style, I don't have time to be changing my lenses and to get, you know, different shallow depths. So I'll be using my 24 to 105, and that will take care of any kind of situation that I may come into. So that's why this is my favorite lens, and if you're still asking, I highly recommend it. It's great glass. It's a Canon L series. Really good quality. This lens actually goes for, I think, about 1,000 or 1,100 on Amazon or B&H, but I actually found this one for $600 brand new on eBay, and it's been working fantastic for me, and it's still my go-to lens. I have it at every shoot, whether I use it or not. It's always my go-to lens for no matter what I do, and I just love it. I love it a lot. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching this quick video. And just a reminder, our campaign is pretty much done with financially, but in terms of followers, you guys can still go and help support our feature documentary by giving us a follow, and we would definitely appreciate that a lot. The link is down below for our website for the campaign, so you can go and hit that follow button, and I'll be catching you guys next time. Have a great day.